Yeah, Naman, we are live now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Cool. So, good evening, fellow IITians. Welcome to this event on open source and Hacktoberfest, brought to you by Cosmos, the IIT Madras PS Tech Society, and GDSC IIT Madras. My name is Naman. I'm the secretary of Cosmos, and we are thrilled to have you all here today. With me, I have Sudeep Mondal, who is a talented BTech 24 graduating student at IIT Madras and a programming educator at Burst. He is also a GitHub campus expert and a Google Student Developer Club, DevOps and cloud lead. He'll be sharing insights into the world of open source development, tips and tricks onto contributing for open source, and he'll also be giving a deep dive on Hacktoberfest and some guidance on how to participate and make meaningful contributions. So, without any further ado, let's greet Sudeep. Over to you.
Thank you, Neil. So I think so. I have gone through the questions also you sent. Uh, so first, I think many of you have already mentioned about open source contributions, and I think mostly people are asking about GSOP. That's great to hear actually. So the first thing is, how many of you know about this open source? What is open source? Like anything, any guesses? You can talk, you can write in the chat. Yeah, yeah, just text or tell no. If you can unmute and tell, or you can just say. Mhm.
Yeah, so open source is basically the the program or the software whose source code is available online. So if you want to, upgrade it according to you, you can, customize it to your needs as well as show up your contribution to the entire software as well if it got.
Yeah, so this is there. Not only that, but so so this is one aspect of open source and open source programs actually. And another thing is anyone can add a contribution to it. It's not only taking the source code and using it by your own, but you can also be a contributor. Okay, and so main thing in open source softwares, okay, thing is the things are open to use, mm, open to contribute. Okay, and most of the today's sessions will be around this how to contribute contribute to open source, not using. Okay, like using open source, mostly you guys know how to do it. You go to the documentation of that and use it. Today's session is mostly on how to contribute to open source. So now one thing is why open source is there is basically it promotes like the inclusivity. Okay, like because everyone can contribute to a project. So some experienced developer will be in the project and someone in the college who is actually reading about research papers or something. So I have also seen this in my experience, job experiences, that actually who are the people in the company have not much exposure to the current research papers in the academia, but the students have the exposure. So a open source software can leverage this feature that students can directly go there and contribute with the great skills, like diverse set of skills. So that makes the softwares very adaptable to change. Then there are things about security and reliability. Okay, so once a project goes out open source, so now anyone can find loopholes and update the thing with respect to the security. Okay, anyone can fix the loopholes. So one aspect of open source software is also this. Then so what are the benefits? Okay, why should you contribute? So that is very crucial point. Okay, see, the thing is you won't do anything if you don't get a direct benefit from this. Okay, this is the most basic thing as a student. most basic thing as a student you should look for, you should get some benefits. Okay, it's good for society and all, that's fine, but you need some benefit to yourself. And those are basically, so whenever I contribute to a open source project, I find myself in a place that, okay, I learned something that I couldn't have learned from any tutorials on YouTube. Because let's say you are contributing to a project created by me. Okay, you will learn the uh, coding style I follow. Okay, like I have experience of like let's say 3 years, 4 years experience, and I have developed some coding styles that is different from others. And you will be understanding the coding style of mine, and this helps you a lot. Okay, no, like I don't create YouTube videos, so my coding style will not be anywhere in the internet unless you see my GitHub. Okay, so that's the thing. We will come to what is GitHub and all, but this is one thing. Like unless you see my code, you don't understand my coding style. And I'm not saying my coding style is the best, but if you see, like let's say hundreds of people's coding style, you will find some coding style those are very useful. Okay, they are. Let's say I am a software developer. Okay, I think many of you are maybe ML people, like you are working on machine learning or deep learning. Many people like today like this large language models came, so I think many people are interested in that also. Many people are working on this platform engineering. So and mostly these sessions, as I'm somewhat kindly aligned with the software engineering principles, but you can think like the general things you can incorporate to everything. So one thing, let's say in software, what happens, design patterns and principles are there. Okay, when you design a software, there are some patterns and principles that mostly everyone follows. But to, let's say Telegram and WhatsApp, okay, those are similar kind of softwares. But the patterns and principles like inside that are vaguely different because of the features. Some features are different and so on. So once you contribute to such projects, you understand the project requirements, understand what patterns you should apply in what project. And what happens to this, like let's say we say, okay, like we say that the best way to learn something is to do project. How many of you believe this? Can you raise hands? Something like the best way to do is learn some topic is to do project around it. Okay, so some people raised hands. Yeah. So one thing is, what is the problem in doing projects? Like this is a good thing, right? You all know that this is the easy way, like the best way to learn this. But what is the drawback of this? That's why not everyone like follow this. What is the drawback? Anyone?
Maybe the ability to adapt to the different code continuously, because every code will have a separate design pattern or its writing style.
No. I am asking like like learning something. The best way is to create projects, right? But
Yes.
let's say in our college, why why it is not there? Like we can just start every chapter with a project, right? Like we can have only project based learning. Why we have theory based learning? Like any guesses?
I
Sir,
think
because to start with the project, at least we should know something about theory. At least basic is needed now to start.
to find logic behind your coding.
Yeah, yeah. These are all things. Uh, Main thing is it's time consuming. Okay, let's say you want to cover all your let's say you are learning some course for 4 months. Okay, whatever topics you are learning, if you want to have a project that incorporates all the topics, the problem is very time consuming. You cannot finish the project in 4 months. Okay, and that is the problem. Let's say think about a course called operating systems. I think most of you are computer science students, so you might see a course called operating system. Okay, now operating systems, it can be taught in 4 months. Can it be built in 4 months? That's the thing, with all the features. And that's the catch. Okay. So when you do open source, no, let's come back to open source. When you do open source, because you are not building everything from scratch, but you are reading a lot of code. Mind my words, reading a lot of code. Okay. You get to know about a lot of things. Okay. And it has the benefit of both. Like, it is not a very time consuming thing. One thing is. Second thing is, uh, it actually gives you the project exposure. The benefits you get from doing a project, you get the exposure from the open source things. And so skill enhancement is one of the aspects. Then one aspect is networking and collaboration. Okay. Once you start doing open source for, let's say, a good amount of time, you will feel that actually you are getting offers from job, like maybe startups or something. Okay. Because you have a good open source contribution profile, but it requires really good open source contribution. Then you can think about recognition. Okay, once you get into open source, if you are having in some let's say GSOC, okay, I think I can add this questions you were asking about GSOC. So GSOC, and so today we will be discussing about Hacktoberfest. The main difference between these two, anyone, if you have gone through what is Hacktoberfest and what is GSOC, anyone, if it is not anyone, just okay, I'm not audible. I want,
You're audible.
thank you. I was asking that we will be talking about Hacktoberfest. So if anyone,
Maybe it is related to hacking.
sorry, uh, so I was asking that um, so this things, right? Hacktoberfest and GSOC. So GSOC and Hacktoberfest. It's a problem. Naman, are you feeling that also, that problem in voice?
No, it's fine to me. I think it's maybe because of your earphones that the mic is seeming a bit distorted to some people.
No, mine is also.
Sir, your voice is not clear, sir.
Is it clear now? I changed the
Yes,
mic
sir.
to.
Yes, sir. This time it's clear, sir.
Okay, fine. So, so, so I was asking that there is this Hacktoberfest. Okay, we will talk about it. I think you have seen in the poster, and this GSOC that many people were asking. Many people were asking about in this registration form. Okay, so do you understand what is the basic difference? If anyone have gone through Hacktoberfest website, we will cover it. But if anyone have is gone through this, can you identify the key difference between GSOC and Hacktoberfest? If any, yeah, you can go. Your mic is turned off.
I might be incorrect, but I think in Hacktoberfest we can choose the project of our own, and in the GSOC we are given a choice of the project and we have to select it from them.
Yeah, it's one of the aspect. Yeah.
That GSOC, what happens is the companies came with their project and they pay students stipends for working on their project. Uh, that's how the GSOC is done, as we apply to them and how we are. That's how GSOC are done. But in the Hacktoberfest, it's a month-long festival. It's in the October month festival. So what is done is some companies came with their project. We by ourselves can go into their the GitHub repository where their sets of project is there, and we can contribute onto our own choice. Based on that, the amount of contribution you have done, ranking is set or whatever it is set, and after that, some goodies are sent. You won't get paid in money, but you get paid in experience and some goodies.
Yeah, so the key difference between these two is in GSOC you have a selection process. Okay, not everyone can contribute to GSOC directly, and in Hacktoberfest anyone can contribute, and this is the biggest difference that actually differentiate between any open source event and GSOC or MLH type of things. Okay, if there is selection procedure between this, these are a different set of open source projects. Like the event, so the projects are open source project in GSOC. The event is not a open source event or something. Okay, because GSOC you can, like, not everyone can participate. So these are the some benefits and all. Okay, so once you, if you, let's say you are contributing to some project, let's say Android. Okay, Android is open source. Android mostly comes everywhere every year to GSOC. Okay, if you are contributing to Android, let's say every month, so there is a huge chance that you will get selected in GSOC. Not only Android, but any GSOC projects which comes every year. Now, we can go through some famous open source projects. So, see, just talk about from your experiences. Like you use a product, you use a software product that you think is open source. Please let us know in the chats or talk about it. Anything you use. Okay.
VLC,
Python.
Blender, Python, and yeah, Julia.
Yeah,
Is
programming
also
Proton
languages,
for me.
all program. Yeah, sorry. The chat
Proton
GPT
mail
is
for
not
me.
open source.
Email service, Proton mail.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
the operating system Linux is also open source.
Yeah, Linux is not an operating system, but okay. Yeah, it's open source. Yeah. Okay, I'll go to Twitter is not open. Okay, Twitter, I don't know. I think not everything is open source, or maybe they recently did it. Firefox is open source. Libraries in Python is open source. Node.js, yeah, on all languages are mostly open source, like that we regularly use, not the company specific. Yeah, VLC, Blender, yeah. Then GitHub is not open sourced. Okay, GitHub is not open sourced. Uh, okay, I think there are a lot of answers, but I don't know all the products like this MetaBrains, Inkspace. I don't know these things. Okay, GitLab, I don't think it is open source. TensorFlow is open source. Okay, so now I have told some of the product, like ChatGPT is not open sourced. Then what was there? GitHub is not open sourced. So can you identify? Sorry, someone told something. Yeah, React is open source. Yeah. So do you get any understanding like what is open source and what? See, every product you listed here is free. Okay, but not free products are open source, or open source products are free. Like these are mutually exclusive things. Okay, but those have a good overlap. So do you guys have any understanding till now, like what is an open source product and what is not an open source product?
Sir, free products are open source, isn't it true?
Java is free, but it is not open source.
Not only Java. See, I will give you a better example. Okay, Google Meet. You mostly use Google Meet, right? Can you see where is the code of Google Meet? You don't have the code, right? That is in the in Google's place. So because the code is not, so at the beginning of the session, I was telling about this, that uh, open source project means the thing should be the code should be free to use, not the product should be free to use. Okay, the code should be free to use. Now, so many open source. I will give you an example, which is the code is free. Code is open, but you cannot use it freely. And let's say Bootstrap. Okay, So I don't know if you guys have done web development. So in web development, there are these CSS libraries. So one library is called Bootstrap. They have some themes. Okay, the code of the themes are available to public. But if you want to use it, you either have to have a license or you can have a free license with the so those are called like code of conduct and legal terms are there. Okay. So what you can use and what you cannot use. Something like that. Similarly, like Wikipedia is free to use, but we don't know. Like Wikipedia is like you don't know the code behind you. Yeah. Or let's say Google search itself. Google search itself is free to use, but Google is not open source. Okay. Some products of Google are open source, but not everything is open source.
Like
Wiki,
which product is open source of Google?
let's say TensorFlow is open sourced. Okay. TensorFlow is created by Google. Then I think if you are in web development, you can see this Material UI. These are open source. Android is open sourced. Android is not exactly created by Google. Kubernetes, I think, is open sourced. Okay. So there are open source products by Google, but most of the enterprise products that we used in daily life are not open source by Google. Yeah, Chandan, you are saying something.
So pre-code camp is open source.
See, it's not okay. The code, the server code, all are. I don't think it is open. I am not sure. Okay, if the code on of the website is open to everyone on their GitHub, it's open source. If it is not, it's a free software. Just that's it. Yeah, Vanya.
So what is the difference between CSS and Bootstrap? Like, is there any complexity difference between both of them?
Bootstrap just a CSS library. So it's like you are using a Python library that is kind of Bootstrap, and Python itself is CSS, something like that. Okay, but today's session is not about that, so let's not talk about this much. Okay. Uh, any other quick questions on this open source? Like, are you guys able to distinguish between this open source softwares, free softwares, not open source softwares, not free softwares? Are you guys understanding?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, it's like how NumPy is part of Python. It's only Bootstrap. So, right. So we will go through some. So someone mentioned Linux. Okay, Linux is a very famous kernel on which many Unix-based operating systems are written. So like Ubuntu, Debian, everything is Linux based. So Linux is open sourced. Many of these operating systems like Ubuntu, Debian, these are also open source. Okay, but there are some companies. I don't know if you know about Red Hat. How many of you have known about Red Hat? This company, Red Hat. So no one knows.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah. So what does Red Hat do? Like as a business, what does they do?
Linux is product of Red Hat. No?
Linux is so okay. We will talk about that. But I am saying what does so Linux is open source. Like okay, you can use it for free. You don't pay. But how does Red Hat earn money? What is their product? So basically, they create operating system for enterprises based on Linux. Okay. Okay. So basically, they create something like Ubuntu, but paid version of Ubuntu, but not only Ubuntu, but have great features, something like that. Okay. So those are very ideal for them to host their websites or servers or something. So Red Hat does so one this thing. Okay, Linux is a product of Red Hat. So yeah, so Linux Foundation I think is founded by Red Hat only. I'm not sure, but so there are some things those are open source, but those are by companies. Like I don't know. Do you know who who is the proprietary of this USB Type C or USB type? You have already used this USB, right? Who no, Apple, Intel owns it, not Apple. Okay, so owns it, but why does Intel owns it? Like USB, every software uses USB, right? So why does why does Intel open sourced it? Like they could have made money. So you can go through this economics of technology. Why do the company make things open sourced? Okay, you can get this knowledge of IBM. They open source their IBM Excels. So these things were there. Okay. So companies make things open source to ultimately grow their business. Okay, let's say uh, like this Windows. Okay, I don't know if you know the story of Windows. Like Windows piracy was there, but actually later we some reports said that actually Microsoft only uh, like lit up this, like they wanted people to pirate their Windows just because they will get to Windows. They will when they go to corporate, they will ask for Windows machines, and Microsoft will earn money from Windows. So basically, what business like Mac has to do, like most of the business give MacBooks, right, to their employees. Windows wanted that this should happen with Windows. Like most of the companies should give their employees Windows computers. So that's why they created. Okay, they never tried to lock the. So so that is the reason. Same reason why people why companies make. Sorry, are you asking something? Hello. So this is the reason like why companies actually uh, open source something uh, because they can earn money from that. Obviously, if they hire employees, they can earn money. But they want to expand the market. Okay, like they can be a 90% shareholder of a $100 billion market, or they can be a 50% shareholder of a $1,000 market. Okay, so that's the reason why companies actually open source. Once they open source things, the market also expands. So that's the thing. And uh, so there are some more popular projects. I don't know. So Firefox is very great example. Like I don't know if you guys have to access workflow or not, but for our BTech students to access workflow, you cannot access it using Chrome. Okay, you so like the course registration and all, we have to all do it using Firefox only. Okay. Then someone listed Chromium. So Chromium is also what this Chrome browser or this Microsoft Edge all are based on this Chromium browsing environment. So these are the things you should you should know before getting into uh, open source. Now, if you are like let's say you are starting for open source, okay, so you need to be a good developer. Okay. There is no way you can be not be a programmer and being a open source contributor for programs. So like open source contribution have many contributions. Like who contributes to Wikipedia is also a kind of open source contributor. But so to become a open source contributor in program, you need to be developer, like either software developer, machine learning developer, cloud developer, any okay, operating system developer, anyone. You need to become a developer. You need to become a programmer, and you have to identify like what are your interests and expertise. Okay, and then you have to, strictly speaking, define your goals. Why do you want to open source contribute? Why do you want to do open source contribution? To benefit the society, to learn something, to uh, to have just project exposure for your reason. Make it clear at the beginning when you are going to do open source project. And once you make it clear, I think most of the uh, questions you ask, okay, will be very transparent to you. Now, once you understand your goals, okay, why you are doing open source contribution, you have to identify how much time you can contribute to open source. Okay, because open source, like more than writing the code, uh, uh, you will be reading the code a lot. Okay, so you have to define the time commitment. Then so next you have to explore the different repositories. Okay, like there are a lot of projects and you have to explore it. How will you explore it? Figure out by yourself. Okay, I did some like random posts on LinkedIn. I just find like someone posted like my project does so. Like today itself, I saw some project on called React Pavel. Okay, so they are kind of creating a server-side rendering project using Gen, I think Flask. Okay, but the code is like React, something like that. Okay, this is a mixture of React and Python. I was seeing that I was about to explore the code. So you have to find open source repositories. How will you find it? It's on your. So one way is you can. So let's say your friend have some project. Okay, that is a large project. Like let's say they have worked for 2 months, 3 months. Maybe it is their bachelor's project or something. Okay, so you can go there and identify what they need, and you can just contribute. Okay, write one class or one function. Okay, understand what they need, something. Or maybe I think your professors may be working on some projects. If they have open source something, you may work on that. Then there are projects that are managed by large enterprise. So it is Linux and all, but those are not very beginner friendly. So I would suggest you first go through some code that you can some code that you can easily understand, okay, and you can easily discuss. Let's say you are directly jumping into Android. It's very let's say you are asking some doubt and they will reply to you in like 1 day or something. Okay, these things are demotivating. So directly don't jump into enterprise based softwares. First connect to your friends, your professors, if they have any open source projects, contribute to them. Not only open sourced, okay, even if it is closed sourced, if they are happy to add you to their project, okay, and you can contribute, it is the same thing. Okay, in terms of learning, in terms of what I say, like project exposure for your resume, in terms of contribution to society. Because if this is a project for, if it is something valuable, okay, this way or that way, it will benefit the society. So then also you can explore this thing, GitHub Community Exchange. Okay, I think you might want to know down. There is something called GitHub Community Exchange. So there many people can list their projects, and you can have this. I don't know. I have seen it very early, like at the beginning of this community exchange. So there was some filters. One was for learning, and one was for contributing. So learning repositories where you can go and learn about something, and contributing repositories where basically you can go there and contribute to that some software or something. Okay, and this is a very great place if you are just starting to open source. Okay, find a project that aligns with your uh, skills. So first thing you need is skills. Okay, you cannot skip the part. Okay, there is no jumping in between. You have to have some good skills, and you need to align some. You need to find some project that is aligned to that skill. Okay, and then you can start reading the code. Okay, what does the code do? First, run the code. How does it run? What does it happen? What is the entry point to the code? So, okay, once you start doing this, I'm talking about from this software perspective. I think for ML and other things, it will be a little different. But obviously, you will understand like what I am talking about if you gain some skills. Okay, then uh, check out the documentation and roadmap. Okay, if the project is not at all documented, and if it is like a big project without any documentation, it's a red flag. Okay, try not to enter those projects. So I don't know if you have any doubts for this part. Okay, like how to find a project and all. You guys, uh,
Sir, how to find? I didn't understand.
okay. So basically, you go to this part these websites. Okay, one is GitHub Community Exchange. I talk. There, I think 24 full request. So there are websites you can search about those, like how to find open source projects. You will get a list of websites. You can go there and find some GitHub link of that. Okay, choose a project that aligns with your tech stack. Okay, let's say you are a software developer. Don't go for ML projects. Go for software projects. I'm saying that, and try to understand the code. See the documentation. Okay, and if everything feels fine, and if you find that okay, I can improve something. Okay, so see, before this, you have to do a lot of job. Okay, you have to find a project. You have to read the project. You have to read the documentation, and then if you feel that you can improve something, then you start contributing. Okay, and this uh this part is literally very demotivating. You will find a project that aligns with your. Okay, I will share my screen. Fine. Screen is visible, right? So let's say I'm going. So can you see this? So I'll just go through this beta communities. So here there is a list of projects in the community exchange. There is a list of project, and so you can here explore Hacktoberfest projects, but let's say you can search for topics. So let's say I don't know if you guys know about React, but it's a tool that you use for uh, front end development, okay, web development, and so let's say I am finding for React or something. Okay, so here is a React tag. You can add a tag for React. Okay, let's say I learned React, and so then there is a React project. Okay, uh, so this way you can find. Let's say I go to classy notes. Uh, I see the code. Okay, these are the code, and I will see how to get started. Okay, so it says that for the repository, clone into your permission branch, create a branch, make your contribution goes. So then recommended I will set up. These are some, I think, coding coding documentation, how to contribute this project. I can go to the SRC maybe. I think I can run the code also. I can see like what is happening. Okay. And based on this, so see, it is using something called functional components. There are functional components and also class components. So if it was class component, I will say like it is not aligned to my system, like my expertise or something. So you can find this. Okay, you can read this code. You have to read through this code, and that takes time. Okay, and then if you think that okay, you have some meaningful contribution, you can contribute. Here is the issues tab. Some project have uh, good issues. Okay, if you see this label, no, good first issue. Good first issue means it is a beginner friendly issue. Okay, you can see the issue. If you can see, like, you can read about it. If you think that you can solve this issue, okay, you can go for it. Most of the cases, you should comment here and get it assigned to you, and then you start contributing to it. So kind of like that. Okay, so okay, you have few in diploma, then fine. So see, I'm just getting you, giving you some examples. Okay, what is community exchange? So community exchange is just an initiative by GitHub that anyone can list their projects there that is worth contributing. They feel that this project is worth contributing for others. So you can list your project there, and who seeks to contribute. So see, Hacktoberfest is for 1 month, but you may want to contribute to open source throughout your year. Okay, so you where you find the projects. So that's why they created this community exchange. Anyone can contribute to the projects. Okay. I also have some projects. I can share the links. Okay. And so I think those projects you can start. Okay, those are very beginner friendly project. Um, so then we come to this submission procedures. Okay, so just check out what is the submission procedure. Okay, if it is not written there, okay, find out who is the maintainer, because you will see their commits. Find out the maintainer on LinkedIn or something, and ask them on LinkedIn. Okay, that what are the submission procedure and all, because um, these are the things. Okay, if you mess up in the submission procedure, it will create a huge cycle. Okay, like let's say some project require some projects have this a requirement that all the like if block should have a curly braces. Let's say you are using it, or let's say in Python, okay, you are creating, every function should have this type definition. Okay, they have it, but you didn't know that, and you have coded a lot. Okay, now they will say, okay, review this thing, and you will review it. Then they will say that, okay, review it again or something. So just talk to the maintainers who are admin for the project, and uh, find the so submit according to that. So anything till now, uh, like doubts about how to find a project, how to do submission, anything? Okay,
I have a doubt.
I'll
Can
share.
I ask?
Yeah, yes, sure.
So I'm new at this. I'm a first year student of DS Data Science branch, and I don't know how these hackathons and all things work, but have a little information about that. Can you guide me?
Okay, so see, so today's session is on open source. Okay, so open source means you contribute to a project that is already existing on the internet. Okay, and you contribute to this. Hackathons and all, I think we can have a different session on it. Okay, hackathons is completely different thing. Hackathon is you are given a problem treatment, you have to solve it. Okay, within some time limit. That's a basic thing of hackathon. We're not talking about this. Okay, Hacktoberfest is an event that is just for open source contributions. The project is already there. You go and contribute there. Yeah, Anjali.
Yes. Hi, Study. So just need to ask you the one question, like if we, as a foundation level student, so do we need to learn any other language other than the Python in order to contribute to open source or any
So
other hackathon like that?
see, so programming language is not never a barrier. Okay, like it's just a language. Now let's say you are going to contribute to ML projects. Okay, so mostly you will find people are using Python or maybe R. Okay, you might not need to do anything else. But let's say you are going to contribute to a project. That is a website that based on email. Okay, let's say you are planning to contribute to that. You know the algorithm. Okay, you know the algorithm which can fix it. But to contribute to that, you might need to learn JavaScript. Okay, if it is required. So it depends on the
JavaScript.
project. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, and for the GDS, for the GDS, what we have to do, like which language we have to start in the foundation level, so that we can, in the next semester or after the next to next semester, we can start contributing to open source and we can participate to the hackathon as well.
Any language is fine. See, any language is fine, depending on the technology. Whatever technology you want to learn, see what most people learn in that field and learn that. So let's say in ML, I think most people learn this Python. Okay, so learn Python. If you want to go into software development, most people learn like Java or TypeScript, learn that. If you want to get into like high frequent machines or whatever what they call it, very okay, whatever like on which the trading machines are built on. So you can contribute to so you can learn C++ for that, or if you are going to game development. So depending, so don't go like that. Okay, go language for, don't learn a language to do something. Find what you want to do first, and then come back to the language. You are understanding, right? It is the opposite flow. First, find like what things you should learn. Okay, what are the topics you want to cover, and then if required, you can learn a new language. Learning a new language, believe me, learning a new language won't take any time. Okay, once you know one language, any language you can learn within 2 hours or 3 hours.
Okay, thank you, Sudeep. Thank you.
So anything else till now? I have shared the links, okay, in the chat. I think everyone can see the chat. Right. So these are my projects. I'm not saying like you should contribute to these summits. Okay, but this can be a good start. Okay, these are not well maintained projects. It's not recommended to contribute to projects like this. But because you can connect to me easily, so you can. So it's a good advantage. Okay, if you can connect to the mentor easily, okay, it's a good project. You can obviously you don't require much documentation. We need resources to learn operating systems. Operating systems are open source. What are you asking? Okay. If it is open source, see, in open source, there is nothing to learn. Okay. In open source is just if there is a project, you want to go there and contribute. There is nothing to learn. If you want to learn the development side, okay, like the skill, the project, the skills required to build the or contribute to the project. Okay. There is nothing to learn in open source. It's just some knowledge. You can just go and read a blog about it and it's fine. And like I think if this session is enough, like there is nothing much to learn. So then how to find like this beginner friendly contributions is basically good first issues. Okay, I have shown you. Then there is this so see the issue description or something. Okay, if it is easy or something, okay, or started or labeled. Okay, so check that. Okay, don't get into complicated issues. Okay, just go through some issues that are just good for nothing issues. Okay, like you can contribute even if those let's say in Zoom. Okay, if the icons were a little better, then it was very nice. Okay, so is there any other platform? Yeah, you can use GitLab. GitLab is there, but I think GitHub is kind of popular. I don't know. GitLab is also popular among these companies, but I think GitHub you get most of the projects in GitHub only. GitLab is there. Okay, I think I'm not sure what else are there. But GitHub and GitLab is most popular. Okay. Then one thing you should learn. Okay, everything. Yeah, Bitbucket, I think is there. So one thing you should learn, obviously, before going into open source is version control system. Specifically speaking, Git. Okay, you should learn this. This is a skill you should learn. And not only the commands and all, how flow works. Okay, how companies work with using Git, how people work, how uh, systems work using Git. Okay, this is not a Git session. I won't talk much about it, but you should learn about it. Okay, Git is very necessary to do any open source thing. So uh, then when you are contributing, okay, when you are contributing, you should follow these code standards. Let's say for software, okay, there is this design patterns and solid principles. You should always follow those. Then uh, there is one more thing, okay, indentation. Let's say a project always follow 4 space indentation in Python. Okay, you are going to code and you are following 2 space indentation. Don't do that. Always follow whatever practice they are following. Okay, and then naming conventions. Okay, these things are crucial. Like whatever naming conventions the project uses, you should also use. You should also use the same naming conventions. Let's say they are using camel casing, you use camel case. If they are using snake casing, you use some snake casing. Okay. Then always try to make your code as modular as possible. Basically, anyone can scrape off your part from the whole system, and uh, it should be still working. Okay, don't make a very wrap around or something like that. Then error handling and testing. Okay, error handling is very important. You should like make your code as much error proof as possible and also handle every possible errors. Testing. If the project requires testing, okay, write tests for that. Otherwise, you will be making the project very bad, and most of the cases, your contributions will not be accepted. Then optimization and performance. Obviously, that's where this data structure and algorithms come into play. You should learn data structure algorithms because you need optimization in performance. Okay. Then one thing is this continuous integrations. Okay, if the project needs continuous integration, you should be doing this. What are this? Read about it. Okay, what are continuous integration? What are error handling? Okay, so I think one thing I should talk about a little is GSOC. Okay, so first thing is many people ask questions about GSOC. So so to be honest, okay, let's be honest now. Why you guys want to get into GSOC? Okay, first thing first. Why do you guys want to get into GSOC? Just honest replies, okay? No one is here to judge you. Anyone? No one. It's famous. That's why probably you guys joined IIT Madras also. It's famous. Money and international connections, experience, looks cool. Yeah, yeah, these are right things. Okay, so when I was also in my first year. I saw this thing and it felt cool. Okay, and I also wanted to get into GSOC. But see, from personal experience, I will give you. Yeah, no, someone talked about money. Okay, someone talked about money. Someone told money. Yeah, obviously, fame. See, no, I will tell you the honest thing. Okay, famous. Okay, last year from our college, from BTech, 3 guys got GSOC. Okay, no one knows these 3 guys. This is the kind of fame you will get. Okay, no one knows them. One of the guys I know, okay, he got GSOC 2 times. Okay, in 2 consecutive years. Still, no one knows him. So you won't get any fame. Like the fame you see, no, those are basically influencers. Like in YouTube, they have a YouTube channel. Like every year, hundreds of people, I think, get into GSOC, but I think 2 or 3 is other names. But not because they get into GSOC, because they have a good YouTube channel or something. So, so one thing is this. Okay, from personal experiences, I felt GSOC was not a very good choice for me. But yeah, if you want to if you want to get into these things, okay, these have good, mm, these has good experiences. Okay, you will get good experiences, money, good money, nice money. Okay, those two things are there. Okay, these two things are legit reasons you can think about this. Why you should not think is what happens to JE is same thing happens to GSOC. Okay, it requires a lot of tremendous effort, and then also it's not guaranteed that you will get into it. Okay, that is the saddest part. Why it is not good for me? Because uh, see, I am not very good at risk taking. Okay, I didn't want to take risk, so my campus placement does well. So I didn't want to get through the hard path. I just wanted to get into the easy part. What is good for placements? I practiced it, and like, I am getting a good placement. That's all. So that's it. Okay. So if you are really willing to take the risk, okay, if you are going to, so there are reasons why you should do uh GSOC, and there are why you should not do GSOC, and understand those things. Okay, if you don't understand those things, I think uh, uh we should first think, we should understand those things first. Okay, and one thing is, I didn't clear GSOC, so I'm not very good person how to clear GSOC. Okay, but yeah, you can connect with people who have already cleared GSOC. I think you will find people in IITM, BTech. I don't know. I have not much connection with the BS students, but if you want to connect to BTech students, you can connect, and you will get understanding of. But what you will see, I will tell you mostly, they are very deep into what they are doing. Okay, they have very in depth knowledge, and if you think you have those kind of knowledge, then only you uh, go into these risky things. Otherwise, don't go for anything. Okay, if you see anyone who have cleared GSOC, they are either very good or mostly luck based. Okay, uh, so don't take those risks if you don't want to. If you want to, please take risks. Okay, then uh, if you have any international connection, how versus other things is okay. You can just go to, you can try for a startup at international location, and you get both. You get money and international connections. Just work at a startup, and maybe it is easier than getting a GSOC. Obviously, like I got, hard skills are required to participate in hackathon for a beginning. Any skills, okay, based on what the hackathon is. If the hackathon is based on web development, you need web development skills. If it's based on machine learning, you need machine learning skills. So Python but don't know DSA, is it? See, I don't know, today's talk was not about it, but okay, a DSA is required for placements. Okay, to be honest, it will be required for your placements. So let's come back to this open source thing. Okay, next topic we will talk about is this documentation and clear commitment. Yes, whenever you contribute something to open source project, okay, you should have proper documentation what you have done. Okay, don't do random gibberish stuff and send them. Do proper documentation, follow proper design principles, and then only submit the code for review. Okay, otherwise it will waste their time, it will waste your time, because once you submit for review, it's not like it will get replied like that fast. Okay, it may take 1 week or 1 day, anything in between, depending on how large the project is and how many maintainers it has. So try to make commits so that it is less time consuming for both, so that when you submit when you are doing the next contribution, they will know you, and they will give a preference to dynamic website designing and how uh, so someone, I don't know, yeah, everyone should see the chat. So you can learn. Okay, you can learn online. Website development, you can learn online. There is, so there is no way around the hard work. Okay, any skill you want to acquire, you have to learn it. You can learn it from YouTube. You can learn it from Udemy, Coursera, anywhere. Okay. If you know what you want to learn, online learning is the best way. Or if you want to directly get into documentation or something, if you want to learn from documentation, you can search from a framework what is used for that topic and learn the framework. Fine. Then let's come into Hacktoberfest. Okay, 1 hour is there, and we will have I think half an hour for the rest of the session, and I think I can take any other Q&A. So Hacktoberfest is basically a open source event. You can uh, contribute to contribute to open source projects for a month, and you get someone told goodies. Okay, I'll talk to about later. So you get some incentives. Okay, so basically, I think you have to contribute 4 pull requests. What are pull requests? Someone asked. So what are pull requests? You will learn when you learn Git. Okay, so see what is Git. I have to anyways learn Git before you want to do open source. So learn Git, and so basically these are the things about Hacktoberfest. Hacktoberfest, you have to contribute in certain extent, something called 4 pull requests. So basically you have to make four contributions, and then you can get the incentives. So till last year they had some t-shirts. Okay, t-shirts as prizes. Whoever contributes to whoever completes the 4 pull requests. But this year they have stopped it because of some logistic reasons. I think so. Goodies is not anymore a reason we should do Hacktoberfest. You can do for learning. It is a great way to learn. I have learned a lot through Hacktoberfest. I have contributed to others. The best thing was not contributing to others' project. My learning was mostly when people contributed to my project. I learned so lot about it. No, if I have a project and I am unable to figure out something. Okay, I just create a issue and someone comes and contribute, and I am very like sound like, okay, this is a way. Like people come up with innovative ideas. Okay, so one of the projects I remember. Okay, so that create. So I don't know if you guys know about inflix and postflix expression. Okay, something like that. But so I have the code about uh, the code can run like if you write like the sign x or something like this, but it cannot take strings and run or something like that. What someone did was they created a new file, ran it or something like that. Okay, so like people come up with great solutions. Okay, and you might be one of them if you are contributing to it. So these are the things. Some guidelines around Hacktoberfest are like you should be contributing in quality. Like it's better to contribute 1 pull request which is good, better rather than hundreds of bad pull requests. And one other thing is, so I have seen people. I don't know if it is about true about it. So in IIT Madras, like people do a crazy level of DSA and okay. So when it comes about Hacktoberfest, people just contribute to DSA repositories, which are not of no use because they are just submitting lead code solutions just there. So I think it's not a way to do things. Um, you can you can have good contributions which are useful. Okay. No plagiarism, like don't copy paste codes. Okay. Obviously, if you need, so let's say you want to implement some merge interval or something, you are copying code from Geeks for Kicks, it's fine. But you have to remember one thing is if you are using merge interval in some software, okay, not like directly you are solving a CP problem. You are naming it, showing the repository as code courses 2023, and you are just solving it. What actually is code plagiarism? Like copying code from others. How many lead code or CP perform? I don't know. I used to do lead code last year, so I don't know. 500, I guess. So then okay, so coming back to this open source, so follow contribution guidelines. So like most of the repositories have some contribution guidelines and follow the okay how to then avoid like spams. Okay, like don't create like unnecessary like I have found a spelling mistake in your README and I have added one new word. Don't do these spam PRs. Okay, and like pull requests and all. Then then try to diverse your contribution. Okay, don't stick to one project or only a single topic. Try to diverse it. So it is helpful. Nothing else. So I don't know if I was clear about Hacktoberfest. If you have any doubts, you can ask, and then we will get into the general Q&A. Okay. You guys have any doubts about this Hacktoberfest or anything I was not clear about? You can ask me. Fine. Then I will just get into a recap, just quick recap. So this basically first thing is find your area of expertise. Okay, build the area of expertise and uh, find a area of expertise in this. Then collaborate and communicate with the maintainers effectively. Okay. Third thing is understand the project guidelines. Whatever the guidelines, understand it and follow it. Then document everything you code. Okay, either through comments or if specific files needed, you just comment it out. Then always contribute good quality code. Okay, and also test it thoroughly. Whenever you are writing some code, it should be bug free. Ideally, it should be bug free. I think there should be maintainers who can identify the bugs, but still, most of the projects go like go directly. So try to have bug-free code, and whenever you are getting a feedback, acknowledge it. Okay, these are the things you should do in any open source environment. So I think I can take now random type of questions. Okay, now if you want to ask anything from the session, outside the session, you can ask. So I will take from the chats first. What is the role of mathematics in CP? It's required, okay. Mathematics is required in not only CP, any engineering, it is required. So questions are there in the questions are there around mathematics foundation level, and I am quite so Python and C++. What is for best for me in the so see you have to find the area of expertise by yourself. I cannot guide. Like I think most of the students here are Python and C++. The ways they should contribute is different for. I think if you have not understood till now, like what I'm talking about, I think uh, you can uh, check it. Okay. So basically, you have to find your area of expertise. Python is not an area of expertise. Okay, if you think your Python is your area of expertise, then you should contribute to Python. Okay, Python is not area of expertise of most people. It can be machine learning, it can be software, it can be cloud, etc. If Python is your area of expertise, then you should contribute to Python, which requires knowledge of anyone can say Python is written in like someone created Python, right? Someone created Python. So I am saying I'm saying that if your area of expertise is Python, like you think that Python has this problem and this should be rectified. So you should contribute to Python, and for that you should learn C. But uh, that's your choice. You can do it. There is a events page in Hacktoberfest. Do we have a Hacktoberfest event by TM? If not, should we create one? See, creative, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. We can discuss about it later. It's not required actually. Beating second year, what is best roadmap for placement? I don't know. Okay, If you are from IIT Madras, do TSA. If you are from other colleges, I am not sure about. Okay, I only know about placement scenes in IIT Madras. Python is slow, that's why people still prefer C. Yeah, is it? See, to be honest, people don't prefer C. If you see how much people use C and how much people use Python, you will understand people use Python a lot. In this large computer science field, how will you find what you are passionate about? I don't know. See, I don't also know how I find it. Okay. I just did whatever. So I started online. Okay. For us, 2020 batch, we had the COVID batch. Okay. So everything was online. I had enough time to explore things. I explored a lot of things. I liked some, didn't like some. My computer was not good enough for some things. So whatever was the intersection between all the positives, I took them. Social media and everything kind of feel the same level of interest in it. Start one thing. Okay, start one thing at least, and then if you will find if you like it or not. What about MERN? Is it see MERN is not MERN is also a tool. It is similar to Python. Area of expertise should be software development. Okay, it's fine if you are good in software development. You can go to any code, and then you can see. Let's say your expertise is machine learning. You go to any machine learning repository, see if it is built in Python, and you can code it. Something like that. Okay, how to grow in our area of expertise? Learn new things. Okay, let's say I don't know. I might see. So let's say you are doing web development. Okay, see what are the websites you use in daily life. Can you build those? You use Google Meet. Can you build Google Meet? Or let's say you are good in ML. Okay, what are the things you use in daily life? Can you build those? Can you build a autocorrect system? Can you build a music recommendation system? Try to build those. Okay, that is I think the easiest way to learn in your area of expertise. Open source contribution, obviously. If you can't build those, see someone else build it and understand the code. Our pull requests me an additional layer to the pull requests. Okay, please learn about it. Okay, it's not very easy to see. Pull requests are pull requests. Okay, you can. I think it's not a good like you need a great Git thing. You will understand how pull requests actually work. You can read about it. Is it a good practice to change your domain after regular intervals? Depends on you. Okay, these are all subjective things. If you find that your domain is not good for you, then you can switch straight. How will you? You can find me on LinkedIn. Okay, please send a connection request. I will accept. Okay. Or you can connect. You can connect on GitHub also, but we can chat. If you want to chat, you can connect on LinkedIn. Will research papers helps us in? Yeah, obviously. Research paper, it is good resume point, obviously in placements. Another thing you learn a lot. If you are writing research paper, you learn it all. So may I ask? Yes, sure. You can ask on voice.
Uh, yeah, hi Sudeep. I was asking that is it a good practice to change your preferable domain after a couple of after a regular interval? So is it good or bad if you showcase into your resume? Suppose I have in my course time I have changed my domain like 3 times. So would it at the end of the place in the placement session would it show that I am not an expert in anything because I am changing my domain, or would it show that I am a versatile person that has experience in multiple domains?
See, no company expects you to be expert, okay? And these things, okay, resume doesn't matter much in placements. At least how the placement happens in for BTech, resume doesn't matter much. It's about your skills. It's about how much DSA you know, at least the software domains, how much software DSA you know, how much amplitude you know. Okay, so these are the placements, and mostly your skills and all comes at the end of the interview, and no one judges about it. Okay. Like I have seen in my internships, people came who have done only CP. They didn't have any development experience. And I have seen people like me didn't ever do CP. Like I have done CP, but after I got internships and all, if before something.
Okay. Thank you.
Is Docker course worth it? Docker is good thing to learn. Okay, it is good thing to learn. How you learn, it's on you. If you want to learn through course, it's fine. If you want to learn it through Docker documentation, it's fine. I check my. Other questions? Is there any group or GDSC members? Naman, do,
Sudeep,
do we have? Yeah, yeah,
uh, please
Yes,
continue. I'll
Sudeep.
ask my question.
yeah. I was asking that do we have a group for GDSC? Someone is asking.
Yeah, so we have that GDSC group for selector students currently, but we don't have like a common GDSC group. I'll create that soon.
Yeah, you are asking something. Ravi.
Yeah, I was asking that as you said in the starting of the session that in the professional field people are not much knowledgeable about the research paper, but nowadays you are seeing that students who are just out from the college or in the college are more knowledgeable due to their experience in open source. So I was asking how is it working on open source allow us to gain the research knowledge in the domain?
No, not like that. You are thinking the reverse direction. Okay, because you have a knowledge in research papers, you will be doing good in open source. I wanted to tell like this because you have see you are in IIT Madras, you will see this paper here and there. Okay, every professor teaches you have a good number of research papers. Even if you go through some of them, you will have a decent uh, understanding of the domain they are working on. And you might find some projects that require that area. Like you will find this, there are some very cross related, I don't know. You might see that, I think in online, this PS or I think diploma also, many professors who teach in the courses are not from computer science department. Okay. And they are from different departments like biotechnology, civil engineering, and all. And they are basically they are they are in their company in their field doing the computational things, and because they have the idea of both side. So that way you can. So if it is just like a mix, okay, you it's like it is a iterative process. You read it, go to a project, contribute to that project. You while contribute to the project, you understand different problems. Okay, come back, see different research papers, uh, solve the problems, find new problems, come back to the research papers, learn new things. Something like that. It is an iterative process. Where can we find these research papers? I don't know. You can get from any journal or just find. So first think about what you want to do and search for like research paper for search engine optimization. You will find a lot of something like if you are searching for something optimization. Hmm. Anything else, guys? I think that's it. You can wrap up now.
Okay, cool. So, thank you so much, Deep, for this really amazing and insightful session. I guess if nobody has any more questions, we can bring this event to a close. I hope that everyone was inspired and armed with knowledge to, start working towards open source. So, Deep, if you would like to add something to close, please do.
Yes, one thing is whenever you're doing anything, okay, just first understand your motives and understand if it is worth it doing. That's it.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and giving your valuable time this evening. And have a great day ahead. Bye bye.